So before we start, Abhishek, let me introduce myself to you. Yeah. So my name is Mrs. Ayushi Jiyal and I am from Team IPT. That is Interview Preparing and Training Team. By profession, I am a counselor and I will be conducting a mock interview for today's Byjus Academic Specialist session. Right?
Sure.
And yeah, I want two things from your end. First, be really loyal with the answers. Second, try to attempt all the answers.
Sure, ma'am. I'll.
Fine. Yeah. So let's start. Could you please introduce yourself to me?
So ma'am, I am Abhishek Shukla from Maharashtra, 𝐻𝐫𝐤 district. Basically, I have completed my degree of mechanical engineering in year 2019. Since 2020 to 23, I was working as an educator of physics in a renowned institute in 𝐻𝐫𝐤 district. Basically, there I was employed on a part-time and full-time basis. And again, there I was deployed with the work of a creation of a content, that is writing content and making notes. So I have my own research material writing written notes. And also I have taught the subject physics. That is a part one of the physics, which is related more to the dynamics. Okay. And when I was employed to the full-time basis there, I was told to teach the whole subject physics, that is P1 and P2, which I have taught P1 and P2 whole part, in which there is a light part also, the waves part also, and the motion part also. After that, in my written content, it is in compliance with the syllabus that is enumerated by NCERT, which is in accordance with the CBSE. And then I have utilized different technologies, the digital mediums, while endowing the knowledge and information to the students. And again, during my engineering times, I have made two major research projects. One was the effect of magnetic field on a fuel performance in an engine, and second was the advanced turbocharger. In both the projects, I have published paper also for that work, and I have done a lot more research work. For the part of the mechanics and dynamics, I have written certain contents as well as the research paper, in which lot much we can say the terms and parameters of factors of physics were involved. Out of that, ma'am, apart from it, I'm interested in bodybuilding. I am a power lifter, and I love reading books. So, ma'am, this can be a short introduction for me.
Whatever you said right now, is this mentioned in your resume, your performance?
My experience is mentioned, ma'am, in my resume.
Okay, fine.
I was educator of physics.
Okay, coming back from engineering background, see, why do you want to opt for Byju's teaching?
Actually, see, from my initial days, I was there equipped with the learning process and endowing and bestowing education process. Like whatever I learned from the different sources, I bestow it. And physics, or we can say part. Yeah, obviously the physics part of especially a branch of science which I deal with is obviously related with the mechanical engineering or a subject which I learned from it. And apart from that, after year 2019, for 1 year, I have prepared for government exam also, for a competition exam also, which was assistant motor vehicle inspector at that time. But I didn't crack it. So I practiced 6 months.
I would like to interrupt in between. There are some protocols of an interview, right? What you have to speak, do and don'ts of an interview, what you have to speak in the interview, what you don't have to speak in the interview. See, and when the HR asks you a question, give the straightforward answer, right? If the HR will ask you, no question, they are going to cross question you, no doubt. When they'll ask you, see, the way you reply, they'll get to know whether you are giving the straightforward answer or you are moving the answers, right? So when they'll ask you this question, that why, coming back from engineering background, you can do much. Looking at your CV, why do you want to opt for teaching? Which is a genuine question they will ask for this, for sure, right? So you have to give a straightforward answer. Whatever is, remember, there is no age to develop interest. I was providing home tuitions to students, and I realized this fact. I realized this fact that I can be a good teacher as well and a good mentor. So imparting knowledge is a great skill which we can perform at any age, right? There's no bar age to that. Give such answers where the HR has no option other than to cross question. Right. So give straightforward. Never ever talk about government exam. These are the protocols. That you are preparing for government exam. You were preparing for government exam. Don't talk about that. Why? Because the HR will have in mind that, okay, fine. Even if he selected, back of the mind, he is preparing for some exam. Once he's selected for the exam, he'll leave our job. So we have to give no clue to the HR. No clue.
Okay, ma'am. Understood.
Fine. Rest, I have noted out certain points. We'll come back in the feedback round. Fine. Second, what do you know about Byjus, Abhishek?
Ma'am, Byjus again a renowned platform where it provides education to the students. Again, Byjus Byjus in compliance with other companies also in other edtech companies in India. The revenue, if I'm not wrong, currently that Byjus is generating is around 2,900 crores, and there are more than 3,000 employees working in Byjus, I can say basically. And again, Byjus utilizes different techniques, different technologies in providing education. Like we can say the 3D visualization technique is there, adaptive learning procedure is there. Again, there is a lot much involvement of artificial intelligence in providing the education Byjus is utilizing. Again, Byjus, what we can say, is a pocket-friendly source for parents also to enroll a student in a Byjus. Then again, Byjus give liberty to the
See,
students.
how can you say it is a pocket friendly? Because the fee structure, everything, the course fee is not an easy task for every parent, because all the parents want their child to enhance their knowledge, to get the best education. But the fees of Byjus is not relevant, not convenient for everyone, right? So how can you say that it's a pocket friendly?
No, ma'am, that is actually there is a procedural liberty that is provided by Byjus. Like they will be giving you a free demo or free classes for more, if I'm not wrong, for 15 days. They are providing the free classes. So it is convenient for the parents. Again, EMI and 0% interest rates, such facilities are also provided there.
Yeah.
So this is what
Just
we
give
can
that
say.
answer. Give that answer. If they'll ask you why pocket friendly, just say 15 days. Vedanta is also giving this chance. Upgrade is also giving this chance. 15 days demo session, that's fine. But talk about EMI. That's the accurate answer. See, ma'am,
Sure,
even
ma'am.
the one who is not able to afford can afford by the procedure of EMI. Any individual, any man can earn this much to fulfill their EMI, right? Like that. Give that answer, straightforward answer. Fine. Okay. Now, who is the founder and co-founder of Byjus?
Ma'am, the founder of Byjus is Byju Ravindran, and I'm not recalling the name of that co-founder. Sorry, ma'am.
Great. It's Divya Gokulnath.
Okay, yeah, Divya Gopal. Thank you.
Yeah. In which year Byjus was established?
Ma'am, the company Think and Learn was established in year 2011. So, actually, the old name is in year 2011 officially.
Okay, fine. Could you explain me any topic in physics for 7 to 8 minutes?
Sure, ma'am. I was given 4 topics, out of which I have chosen motion as to explain. Okay, as a demo video. So should I start, ma'am, with your kind permission?
Sure.
So motion. When we say in layman terms, like in a normal life, what motion is? Any body, anything that is not at rest is what we can say is in motion. Like in normally, when say any bus is moving, or any person is moving, our breathing, our respiration, the movement of blood in our body is what we can say a motion is. But as we are learner, ma'am, with your kind permission, can I use the board?
Sure, yes, you have to use the board as well. That would be best. That would be best, yes.
Yeah. I hope, ma'am, it is visible properly to you.
Yes,
or I
yes,
should make an
absolutely.
angle.
Absolutely, it's visible.
Okay, ma'am. So what is motion? In generally, we see anything which is moving. That is anything that is not static, but a dynamic is what we can say a motion is. Now, since we are learning science and physics, we must have a different definition, different appreciation for any aspect we are learning. Okay, so motion, while we are learning in physics or science, in science, the definition we have is we learn the motion with respect to stationary object. We are learning the motion with respect to what a stationary object. And what is the significance of stationary object here is, see, I'll take a simple example. Let us consider this is a wall. Let us consider the dimension of wall is 25 by 18. Now, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to hammer a nail here, okay, in this wall. And let's suppose you are a person standing 10 to 20 feet away from the wall. Now, I ask you to locate the nail I hammered, okay? It will be very easy for you to locate the nail. Let's suppose this is a nail, okay? After 1 second, what I'll do, I'll change the position, okay? This was the nail I hammered. You're observing it from the 10 to 20 feet. Now, after 2-3 seconds, I'll change the position. I'll again fill the concrete into the old, and this is the position answer. Now you can see it is very difficult for you to locate the change in it. Okay. Obviously, I have changed it from this position to this position. But are you able to see from your naked eye that there is a change? Because I have made a slight change over here. Okay. Now in the second case, what I'll do? Let's suppose this was the original position, right? This was the original position. I'll make a reference line. Okay, reference line from it. And I consider it as a stationary object or a blind spot. Okay. Now the new line, new name that is hammered is here. Now you can easily notice from the stationary point that whenever there is a change occurred, change, what do I mean by change? Change means motion. That is, let's suppose it was A and it is A dash. So the change is from A to A dash. Now it is very easy for you to locate the change, that is A dash. Now you will easily say yes. Obviously there is a change. Now let's suppose I have filled the concrete in the old space. Now it is easy for you to locate the change. Yes, obviously there is a change since you have a stationary object as a reference point. So the stationary object in motion act as a reference point. Stationary object has to be very precise from which we are going to recognize the actual position of the change and which gives us the motion that object. Again, I'll take one more example. Let us suppose I park my car in a shadow of tree. Okay. When I say that car is said to be in a motion, when with respect to time, the position of that car has been changed. Let's suppose this was a car which was being parked in the tree. When I say that this car is to be said to be in a motion, when let's suppose this was the condition of 8:0, and 8:1. When the car displays the position, let's suppose car has been moved to this position, then I'll say that car has been displayed. Now, how can I say? I'll say it with respect to that tree. That tree is very imminent here. So this is what the significance of stationary object occurs in case of motion. Again, one more thing, while learning motion, we must know certain quantities related to the chapter motion. So I'll be starting. This is what all about the motion. Anything what is at rest and not what is at rest and is in the motion. So what simple thing we have to learn here from here is anything has a stationary object as a medium, as a reference through which the motion is to be calculated, or body is said to be not in the rest position. Okay, that we can say is a motion. Now the quantities we are going to learn in motion is distance and distance. Obviously, these are the basic things: distance, displacement. When distance and displacement are derivated, it comes speed and velocity. Again, when the velocity is derivated, it gives acceleration. Acceleration. Now these are the part which are related to what? Motion. Now what it creates the motion? The force creates the motion. Obviously, force is what which creates. Force is obviously a prime source from which the motion is created. It gives us torque to the motion, due to which it is said to be not at the rest position. Okay, so I'll be starting it from a basic quantity, that is distance and displacement. I'll again explain it with the help of example, which will be very much easier. Let's suppose in this example, okay, this is Mumbai. Okay, and this is Pune. Ma'am, I hope it is visible clearly in the figure and diagram. Okay, so now this is what our Lonavala, Khanda, and all these things. Okay, let us have one object by name has to be moved from Pune to Mumbai. So how we will say that certain distance has been traveled, a certain distance, this is the distance between Mumbai and Pune, because the object has to travel that path, that proper path which is depicted. The geographical path has to be followed by the object. Then and then we will say that that the certain object has acquired certain distance. But this is not the case with the displacement. Okay, in case of displacement, this is the direct displacement. Meaning whenever we will say an object has been displaced, or an object has to be said to be in a motion from initial point to final point. Initial point and final point. What do we mean by the initial point to final point? It is generally seen. It is points when we observe any motion or any change in physics. That is what we can say initial and final point. That is of our observation. It is not like the position from rest to rest. Rest to rest, if you consider the position from rest to rest, what will be? It will be at the both the time the magnitude will be 0. Magnitude means numerical value. Numerical value like 5 kg, 10 kg, 3 kg, 45 kilometers, 45 kilometers per second. These are what? These are numerical values. Or in a language, in scientific language, magnitudes. Okay. So how we will say like initial and final value? This is the initial value and this is the final value. This is the value in the frame of reference in the observation of person who is noting. Okay. Like what we are doing here. So displacement is what?
Okay, Abhishek, you can have a seat. You can have now. Please have a seat.
Okay. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Great. I'll be asking certain questions regarding to physics. Okay. Could you explain me light and the nature of light? What is light and what is the nature of light?
Yes, ma'am. Basically, ma'am, light is an energy which is developed from a certain source, and the nature of light is I can't recall much more in a descriptive way about light. Actually, I know what light is, but simply light is an energy.
You can say light is simply a form of energy that helps us to see things. Clear?
Yeah.
Simple. Okay. What is nature of light? क्या है nature of light? Reflection है, wave है, particle. These are the nature of light, right? Now, can you explain me laws of reflection?
Yes, ma'am. Laws of reflection, right? When it is, I'm just
what happens when light travels from one place to another?
When the light travels, the laws of reflection are when the light is impacted on a certain body, it reflects and creates the angle with the normal, that is the angle of incidence and the angle of reflection. This is what we can say is a law of reflection in this case. This is the law of reflection. Basically, there has to be a certain medium through which the, or certain barrier parameter through which the light has to be reflected back. It can be of, there can be different shape of barriers through which the light is reflected. Light can be again partially reflected and totally reflected. And light can be again internally reflected and externally reflected. These are what we can say.
Can you explain me Fermat's principle?
Can you please repeat, ma'am?
Fermat's principle.
No, ma'am. Currently, I cannot recall.
Okay. Fine. What is a plane mirror?
Plane mirror is mirror through which the image is formed. Is a virtual image, and the image is formed on the back of the mirror. That is what we can say plane mirror is. When that is no convergence and divergence of the incident ray takes place, is a plane mirror.
Or can you differentiate between can you differentiate between a spherical mirror or a curved mirror?
Ma'am, spherical mirror, what we can say, curved mirror is deformed from the spherical mirror. Spherical mirror and curved mirror are the same mirror, whereas the curved mirror are again classified into the convex and the concave one. It is so. Concave and convex are what we can say depend on the basis of the center of curvature. So basically, if we talk about the convex lens, the center of curvature is behind. That is that for the concave, it is in front. So accordingly, the focus is divided for the both. Like the convex and concave mirror mainly differs in the converging and diverging properties of it. Converging and diverging properties of light. Again, there are certain positions of the object where it is placed and where the image is formed, whether it is virtual or real. The image is erect, inverted, like how inverted. And these are other distinguishing features of it.
Okay. And difference between speed and velocity?
Ma'am, obviously the distance between speed and velocity is, one is a scalar quantity and another is a vector quantity. Why we'll say a certain quantity is a vector and a speed scalar quantity? Because any quantity that is a vector quantity has a magnitude and direction both, whereas the scalar quantity has a magnitude only, that is a numerical value. Now, what does it mean like it has a both? Means when the, what do we mean like we are saying any quantity, like a certain quantity like velocity is having direction and magnitude, both means what? The change in direction affects the magnitude finally of the quantity. So the speed is what? It is derived from distance. Distance is a quantity which is not dependent upon any kind of direction. Let us suppose we are traveling a certain distance. It is a 7 kilometers. Okay. Now, if you take number of tons, then and then on, after that also you have to cover a 7 kilometer distance only. But in case of displacement, this is not. Once you change the direction, the magnitude, the numerical value is gonna change. So this is what we can say a basic difference between a speed and velocity. After derivating, as I already told, after derivating the distance, we get speed. That's why it is a scalar quantity. And after derivating the water displacement, we are getting velocity.
Okay, now what does the odometer of an automobile measure?
Odometer of the automobile.
Hmm.
It is a device, ma'am, which is used to know the revolution per minute and speed of the vehicle traveling. I'm not very much sure.
That measures the distance traveled by the automobile based on the parameter of the wheel as the wheel rotates.
Yeah, revolution of the vehicle.
Right. Now, can you tell me why should we hire you?
Ma'am, obviously the Byjus will be the platform for me to enhance my skill. And since till now I was employed in an unorganized sector, but continuously in the provision of bestowing knowledge or the information to the student. So I'll be doing my best once I get a chance on the organized sector. Like, this is a great platform. The Byjus is a great platform for any educators and learners to explore to explore the other like what we can say, to expand the ideas regarding the education field. So that is the thing. Again, second thing, ma'am, I have my own made contents, written notes of subject science, which are in compliance with the textbook of NCERTs. Again, I have made certain pictorial diagrams, all these things, and these are very adaptive to students, which is easy to cope up with different concepts of physics. I have mentioned certain mnemonic techniques, memories there. Again, the different formulas, the way to learn the formulas, way to apply the formulas. These things I have, which which I think this is a unique quality or a unique content that dwells in me. And third thing, ma'am, I have utilized technologies also. Like I am I am familiar with the online teaching and all these things. So it is this much things I can provide in. Yes, ma'am.
There is a 2-year bond. There is a 2-year bond in Byjus. Are you ready to sign the bond?
Ma'am, right now, see, education is what it is related to education. Like, as an educator, if I'm employed somewhere, so what I'll do, I'll be hired by an institute for a like academic year basis. So obviously, education is what it is. It will be a moral obligation me once I'm attached to the student. Once I have deployed with certain work, once I have appointed there in any institute to teach the student, it is a moral obligation on me to complete that particular subject, that session for a year. The full syllabus has to be complete. So in this field of education, what I think is, I don't think there is any like it is very necessary or mandatory to have a bond. Basically, once I am attached to the Byjus, it will be a moral obligation me that I have to complete a certain subject, certain
You'll be ready to
syllabus.
sign
And
the bond?
second thing is,
You'll be ready to
sorry,
sign
ma'am.
the bond? You will be ready to sign the bond?
No, ma'am, I will not. Means currently, I'm not thinking to it. Like to.
No, we have a bond in Byjus. If you have to join Byjus, you have to sign a 2-year bond. Are you ready to sign the bond?
Ma'am, I'll think of it. Like, as I'm saying, it is a moral obligation on me. Obviously, if I'm into the education, like for providing education, I will be in a compliance with this. I will be there in what we can say for years, 2 years. I'm attached to a student. I have to complete. It will be obligation on me to complete the syllabus and subjects. So obviously, I'll be there in it. There are no factors arises for like security to take for 2 years to in this way. Like anything which is related to grant and all. So this I can say.
So means you're saying you will not
Basically,
sign the bond. You will not sign. See, wherever you go, whether the tenant stays at a place, whether you stay at somebody's place, right? So there is a bond everywhere where you have to sign. Fine.
I'm your voice breaking. Voice.
It's not audible. It's not audible.
No, now audible, ma'am. Sorry.
Right. So see, terms and conditions are everywhere. Right.
Okay.
They are everywhere. We suppose if I join any renowned school, they also have a term and condition. Is it breaking?
audible.
My voice is breaking.
You are not audible, ma'am.
Vikas sir, am I audible?
Hello.
Yes, I see you are audible.
Now, ma'am, you're audible.
My voice is audible?
Yeah. Now it is audible.
Fine. Okay, fine. Let's come back for the feedback round now. The last question is, I'll give you 3 options and you have to arrange them according to your preference. Fine? Because it's not audible.
Am I audible to you, Sukla? Hello. Are you using any earphone or earbuds?
Nothing, sir. It is on
Okay,
the gadget.
so
It is on the gadget speaker and mic, sir. It is very clear.
okay,
You are audible,
okay.
Pratik, sir.
Now can you hear
Vikas,
me?
Pratik, sir, you are audible.
Okay. I see you can continue.
I'm not being audible. That's what Abhishek is saying.
No. You are audible, I see, ma'am. You are
Okay,
audible.
fine. Okay, fine, sir. Thank you. Abhishek, is it clear? My sound, am I sounding fine?
Voice. Once you talk, your voice goes down after 2-3 seconds.
I
It
seriously
gradually
can't.
reduces.
Because I am checking my net connection, my Wi-Fi connection. That's secure. That's clear from this end. Are you still
Okay,
having
ma'am.
problems? Okay, let's do one thing. Let's end the last question, and then again we'll join the meeting. Okay.
Okay, yeah, ma'am. Please.
I'll give you 3 options. First is career growth, work-life balance, and money. According to your preference, you arrange them and give me the reason for that.
Ma'am, can you please repeat the option, please? Can I request you to repeat it, please?
Career growth, work-life balance, and money.
Yeah. Can I answer?
Sure.
Ma'am, I'll categorize it in a way like I'll prioritize. I'll keep at first the career growth. Then, because if I'll have a good career, then only I'll be having good money. The second will be the money, and according to which there will be a work-life balance. Because once I'll have a good money, then only I'll be thinking about other parameters, other consequences of my life, and I'll balance it accordingly. Career growth is very much important for me to have a good work-life balance. That is the thing. Because career is a thing from which I'll be earning money, which is very, what we can say, a pivotal for having a work-life balance. Because money is something which is giving me opportunity to cope up with other social parameters of my life also, which will be which will be enhancing me a mental peace. So from which I'll say I'll be categorizing it in a way like career growth first, then money, and then work-life balance.
Work-life balance is not important for you.